Investment News Quiz Friday, 13th, 2026. SA News Quiz, News Weekly, Investment Quiz. What is a Super Bowl indicator? A Super Bowl indicator is a theory that the stock market's yearly performance can be predicted by which conference wins the Super Bowl. Explanation: the Super Bowl indicator is a theory that suggests the stock market's performance for the year can be predicted by the winner of the Super Bowl. Traditionally, if a team from an NCF wins, the market is expected to rise. If a team from AFC wins, the market is expected to fall. While it has coincidentally been correct many times in the past, it is widely considered a statistical fluke rather than a reliable investment strategy. Number 2. Dow Jones Industrial Average recently topped what level for the first time? 50,000 points. 50,000 points. Dow Jones Industrial Average recently closed above 50,000 points for the first time in its history, making a major milestone for the long-running U.S. stock market index. Number 3. What did the latest job reporter said about the labor market on January? The job growth beat expectations with the unemployment rate fell. Explanation: the latest U.S. job reports for January revealed that employers added about 130,000 jobs, beating forecasts. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate ticked down to 3.3%. CNBC U.S. payrolls rose by 130,000 in January, more than expected. Unemployment down to 4.3%, published Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, 8:32 a.m. EST. Key points: non-farm payroll increased by 130,000 for January, above the Dow Jones consensus estimates for 50,000. The employment rate edged lower to 4.3%, a more encompassing measure split to 8%, down to 0.4 percentage points from December. As has often been the case for the U.S. labor market, health care led job gains in January, adding 82,000 positions. Social assistance also rose up to 42,000, while construction added 33,000. The BLS also released final benchmark revisions for the year prior by March 2025. Those numbers saw the initial counts revised lower by a total 898,000, about in line with expectations. Number 4. Along with its quarterly earnings reports, Kraft Heinz announced which of the following? It's pausing to its planned split into separate companies. Explanation: when Kraft Heinz KHC reported its quarterly earnings, management announced it would pause its previously planned separated into two independent companies. Instead, the firm said it would focus on strengthening the existing business with increased investment. Along with its Q24 earnings report release in February 2026, Kraft Heinz announced a pause in its previously planned business separation. Focus on operational improvements and a 600 million incremental investment in marketing, R&D, and product and packaging. The company also provided 2026 guidance, forecasting a decline in organic net sales and adjusted EPS. Number 5. In a note to clients this week, Goldman Sachs reveals that its PANA index is currently showing what? It's showing investors' anxiety near max fear. Explanation: a recent note to clients, Goldman Sachs highlighted its PANA index, proprietary measure of investors' anxiety tied to volatility and demand for downside protection, is signaling that markets are approaching max fear. In a note to clients during the week of February 9, 2026, Goldman Sachs involved its proprietary PANA index reached 9.2, signaling that investors' sentiment is nearly a max fear level despite recent market rallying. This is the level of anxiety reflects increased hedging activity and potential for significant further selling pressure in U.S. equities, with potential for 33 billion over 80 billion in outflows. Max fear level in the index roses 2 to 9.22, indicating extreme market stress and anxiety as reported by New York Post. Factors driving fear: the spike in panic is driven by rising volatility, shift towards soft gamma positions, and concerns over the AI-related technology volatility. Selling pressure: Goldman warns of up to 33 billion in selling with a potential for 80 billion more of the S&P 500 drops below 6,707. Retail behavior: the index highlights a shift in sentiment as a retail investor who previously bought dips are showing signs of exhaustion. Number 6. What segment drove growth at Caterpillar Cat in Q4? Growth. The answer is growth was led by its power and energy segment, fueled by AI-driven power demand. Caterpillar Q4 earnings on deck. What to expect? January 28, 2026, 9:26 a.m. Caterpillar Inc. Stock heavy equipment maker Caterpillar Cat is set to post fourth quarter results on Thursday before markets open. Wall Street expects the construction and mining equipment Maker to post EPS of $4.71, implying a decline of 8.4%, while revenue is expected to increase nearly 110% to 17.76 billion during the quarter. Caterpillar has benefited from recent surge in demand to energy and transportation equipment used to power artificial intelligence data centers. Early in October, the company posted strengthened than expected quarterly results thanks to the energy and transportation units, which has become its fastest growing segment, outpacing the traditional construction and mining equipment operations. However, the company, which is falling to 17.5 from the 20% a year ago. I will closely monitor the performance of the construction and the resources segments. These two segments drag down overall profitability and the company due to impact of the tariff and limited capacity to pass this cost to the consumers. From this perspective, management's FY26 tariffs cost guidance is the key item to monitor, noted a recent Seeking Alpha analysis by Deep Value Investing. Over the last 2 years, Irene, Texas-based Caterpillar has beat EPS estimate 63% of the time, has beaten revenue estimate 38% of the time. Over the last 3 months, EPS estimated since 15 upward revisions, compared to 5 downward revisions, while revenue estimates has been revised upward 13 times versus no downward moves. Seeking Alpha analysts and Seeking Alpha's quant ratings rare cautious and rated the stock as a whole. In contrast, Wall Street considered in a buy. The stock rose 55% last year, outperforming the over 16% rise in the S&P 5 index. How Epstein got so rich. Financier. Well-connected financier Jeffrey Epstein amassed such great wealth. How well-connected financier Jeffrey Epstein amassed such great wealth. Canary Islands, the paradise on life support, natural and environment. 60 years ago, in Europe's first seawater desalination plant was built on the Canary Islands. Human rights Libya. I wish I had died, said migrant after weeks of rapes. Man fought with a DPA Reuters. A new UN report has found that asylum seekers being returned to Libya are facing serious human rights violations in detention camps, including torture and rape. Migrants and refugees and asylum seekers in Libya, including young boys and girls, are facing systematic, widespread human rights violations, including torture and rape, according to a United Nations report published on Tuesday. Since the fall of dictator Muammar Gaddafi followed the Western-backed uprising in 2011, Libya, which is located just 300 kilometers from Italian coast across the Mediterranean Sea has become one of the main departure points of North Africa from migrants trying to reach Europe. In recent years, the European Union has funded Libyan Coast Guard training and border management program to prevent refugees from making dangerous crossing.